Hi everyone, this is Jan from JScan, and today I want to show you guys, let's call it a short tutorial to the JScan app. So I'll obviously not show you all the features, there's a lot and this would take a lot of time, but I'm going to show you how to perform a few adaptations, the few most common that we get asked about, and also I'll briefly show you how to read some live data. So yeah, let's begin. First thing you need to have is a Bluetooth or a Wi-Fi adapter. Mine is already plugged in. I'll attach a photo of the place where it goes, so you'll know. So once that's done, you need your key. Obviously, the key must be in second position. So 1, 2, ignition on. Some beeps will go on. And then we're good to go. No beeps this time, very well. So I have my JScan here. It's installed, and I already have my license assigned. So if you're connecting for the first time, you will get prompted upon connecting to the vehicle as to if you want to assign a license, or if you don't have one, and then if you want to buy a license. With the free version, all you can do is read generic trouble codes. So to do any of the things that I'll be showing today, you need to have the license. But obviously I'm not gonna show this part. So let's go. Let's connect. I'll choose Wrangler JK because that's the car I have, and my OBD adapter, which is V-Link. That's what it's called. Vehicle in it, and we're good to go. Alright, so as you can see on your screen right now, I have some controls on my dashboard that I don't want, namely the sway bar and the TPMS. So let's start with that. My sway bar simply doesn't work. Obviously the app is not going to fix it, but if it doesn't work and you want to get rid of this blinking light, all you have to do is go to adaptations, find sway bar on off, target value deactivated, OK, go, and changes applied successfully, and the light is gone. So this was easy. Now the second part is the TPMS. On the tires, on the wheels that I have right now, the TPMS sensors, I think I have 1 of 4, or maybe not even that. So I'll also disable that. It's just as easy. We'll go to TPMS on off, deactivated, OK, go, working. This should only take a moment. Changes applied successfully, and yeah, the light is gone. I'm also gonna attach the screen of what my dashboard looks like after I've done all this. So the next two things I'm gonna show is how to edit the tire size. This is probably the most common thing that all you're doing. When you replace your tires, your odometer, your speedometer, and obviously your mileage per gallon goes off. To adjust that, you're gonna just change the tire size in your computer. This will also adjust the shifting points for your automatic transmission if you have one, and this will help smoothen the ride. So this is just as easy as before. You click the tire size. The ECU value on mine is 31.25 inch, which is roughly what the stock size is. I have 35s installed right now, but after I measured them, it looks like they're more 34 and a little bit. So the value I'm going to choose is 34.25 because that's the closest. Okay, go. Working. This takes a little bit more time, but works in exactly the same way. So in a second we'll be done. Changes applied successfully. Okay, so this is it. Now, the last adaptation that I want to show you guys today is a bit more complex. Well, it's not as popular as the other ones, but it is a bit more complicated, so I want to cover that as well. So what I'm going to do is adjust my axle ratios. Obviously, the app itself will not change your axle ratios, but if you re-geared your axles and you want to, again, bring all those parameters back to normal, and also make your automatic transmission work as it should be working, you have to adjust it. The problem is that with the tire sizes, the computer thinks you're going a bit a bit slower than you actually are. So it only has to adjust shifting points, but even if you don't do it, it's alright. But with the axle ratios, something is really off, because the ABS sensors, they show totally different speed than what the computer thinks it should be, based on the ratios and on your RPMs on your engine. So this is really crucial to correct after you've done it. So my axle ratios right now are 3.73, which is stock for at least for my car, which is JK Rubicon 2.8 diesel, but I changed them to a different value just for the sake of this demonstration. So what I'm going to do now is correct them. So I'm going to choose the ratio that I really have, which is 3.73. The application called axle ratio, so it's pretty obvious. And I'm going to press go. And as I said, this is a bit more complicated, because even though it said changes applied successfully, this is not exactly true, because the computer now has the updated ratios, but it has to get propagated into your gearbox in order for it to exit limp mode or not enter limp mode. So the additional thing that you have to do is go to the initialize EGS adaptation on the advanced users, which is exactly what you're going to be after watching this video, and set it to active. Now what this does is it makes your gearbox go to init mode. You're gonna get some funny things on your dashboard, like hot oil and probably some other controls, but don't mind that, it's not true. Now, in order for this to work, we have to set it to active and turn off our car. I also open my door to make sure it turns off all the computers, and now we'll have to wait about 15 to 20 seconds. I'm going to cut the video just a little bit so we don't get bored. Alright, we're back. So now what I'm going to do is enter my key again, go to second position, which is ignition on. I'm not going to turn on my engine just yet, and I'm going to now set it to disabled and go. And during this time, when it was active and the key was out, everything was off, the gearbox reset itself to the default factory settings, and also it imported, so to say, the gear ratio values from the computer. So now it actually knows what the gear ratios are. And it should not go into limp mode. If it does, and you've probably done something wrong. It definitely worked for me. I actually tested it with the wrong values, and it was awful. It was undrivable. Anyway, so once we've done all that, I'm gonna just quickly show you what other things you can do with JScan. I'm not gonna go into very much details, but I'm gonna skip over it. So first of all, what you can do is read the trouble codes from all modules. You can enter any module in the modules tab separately and read the trouble codes, but I'm not gonna do it for right now. I'm gonna go to dashboard and do advanced scan, and what it does is it reads trouble codes from all the modules, which is kind of the shortcut version. Obviously, if you're doing some diagnostics connected to a specific thing, you may not want to do it. It takes a little bit more time, and it shows a lot of, well, let's say it crop things, because things like, well, tire pressure monitor not connected. I know that. I don't need to see that. Anyway, I can, from this screen, I can clear them all. And which I forgot to mention, this is another step that you have to take after adjusting the gearbox. You have to clear all the trouble codes. Not always necessary, but sometimes it is necessary in order for this to go back to normal. Alright, so as you see, some of those trouble codes come just back on, since, well, they are actually there. But that's how we can do it. And then we have the live data. So in the dashboard you have the live data thing, and it allows you to see some generic things, like intake temperature, fuel tank level, yeah, things like this. But what you would rather do is go to a model, and if you want to do a live diagnostics, because that's what it's designed for, let's try airlock brakes. So let's see how we can diagnose the ABS. So we'll go to live data, we'll choose the PIDs. As you can see, there's a lot of them. So let's select the wheel sensors for all four wheels. Press OK, and obviously, yeah, you have to also tap the start button, which sometimes people miss in order for this to show something. So what it actually shows right now is 0, because obviously my car is stopped. But this is just an example of what you can monitor during diagnostics. If you have a wheel sensor that is faulty, and obviously one of those values when driving will be different than the others. So yeah, I guess this is it for what I wanted to show you today. Thank you guys for watching, and this is the first time I've done a video like this. I may do more in the future, so if you like it, then hit that like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike, and please let me know in the comments what I can do better in the future. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and see you on the trail.